Good evening, guys. Let's continue our conversation together. So actually, the first terror attacks had been existed for centuries in the Balkans, especially against Serbia, but also against another Balkanian countries. So the first terror attacks by Islam, that they were doing all those things that they were doing in 7 October, to rape women, to kidnap people, to slaughter people. They did those same things in the Balkans, in Albania, in Serbia and Bosnia, also in North Macedonia and other nations over there. And this terror was by this alliance of Germany together with Turkey against their own brotherhood. They let them slaughter their Christian brothers, the Orthodox and the Catholics, because they told them, we are fighting against the same enemy. They are infidels. They are worshipping Maria Magdalene and also the Pope. And they have a foreign worship. We don't worship statues. We don't worship iconic figures in the church. That's why they went to the churches in Kosovo and took their eyes off the picture, because the eyes are the soul. And they told them, you with your extreme Salafic Islamic terror movement, it's like our Protestantic movement in Germany. That's what the Germans told the Turks. They allowed terror for hundreds of years. And then they allowed this terror of burning 156 churches in the Balkans, in Kosovo, in the end of the 90s. And they allowed the Palestinian terror against Jews in the Intifada, the second and the first Intifada. And by whom? Those arrogant, democratic, liberals countries of Europe. So we have the same suffering. The Balkan countries and Israel, they took our most sacred and holy places. The story of Turkey is the same story of Palestine. The name Istanbul, it means in ancient Greek, Istanbul, into the city. Palestine is not a real name. The name is Plishtim. They took us from our Bible. The Plishtim weren't even Muslims. They weren't Islam at that time, in the time of the Bible. So how come they say that it's theirs? Also, the most holy places for the Orthodox Church, the Russian and also the Serbian, are in Turkey, are in Constantinople, Hagia Sophia, and also in Antioch. And how they are treating the patriarch over there? Oh my God! It's the same thing. We cannot go and pray with our rabbis in Hebron and also in the Temple Mountain. So they took our own right of our religious historical identity, like they took your right. And by whom? By this alliance of those Turkish, Western Europe alliance together with the big snake, the Democrat Party in the United States, against us. We, the Jewish people and the Balkanic countries, but especially Serbia, have the same problem. They also did agreements against us. The Dayton Agreement, that took artificial Islamic countries, and they said, no, it's not your history, it's not your place. It's not part of your historical identity. The most important places for you in Herzegovina and in Kosovo, the heart of Serbia, but also the heart of Israel. They took it by this Oslo agreement from Norway, Sweden, and Germany and France. All those countries together were with the big snake, the Democratic Party in the United States. The Oslo agreement and the Dayton Agreement, they took also our most holy places in Judea and Samaria. Okay, it had been cooked in the same kitchen of those liberal countries in Western Europe that stabbed us in the back, in the same way that they stabbed you 500 and 600 years ago when there was a German Protestantic alliance, that they allowed terror against Balkanian nations, Slavic Orthodox nation, but also Catholics. They were supporting terror back then and also now in the last decade. So we, Serbia and also Israel, have the same interest to fight against those people that are taking our territory, that are allowing Islam to kill us, to rape us, and to take our most sacred and most holy places for centuries, but also right now they're still trying to do it in an excuse of democracy, human rights, a care for the weak. If they are weak, why they are trying to murder us? Why they are trying to take our most sacred and holy places? They don't even want to share it together. The ways that Serbians are going to visit their most holy churches in Kosovo by barricades and also with cups and people that need to protect them is the same way the Jews are going to the Temple Mountain to pray over there. They are afraid that the Muslims will kill us, the Arabs. And also the Albanians and the Bosniaks, the Serbs need to go to the most holy places while they are afraid that the Albanians and the Bosnians will kill us. Will kill them, I mean. You get it? The same things are happening to you, but also to us. And they are doing everything that we won't communicate together. That they will determine the tone that Germany and the Democratic Party in the United States will decide for us with their money and their power to force us and to imply decisions on us that are not for the fair for our people, for our nation, and for our future. We need to take the future in our own hands and to prevent it from them with an alliance together. Now, after the problems with the relationship between Turkey and Israel, that Turkey wanted to disconnect from us together, that they are supporting Hamas and our most worst enemies. Hamas also, they have houses over there in Turkey of the leaders of Al-Qaeda, but not just Al-Qaeda, but also Hamas. Now they unleashed all those terrorists from Al-Qaeda against us that are threatening us. Erdogan is threatening us to fight against us from the Golan Heights. What they did in the past, they are doing right now. We need to take our future in our own hands. Now you can see what an amazing cooperation between Greece and Israel against Turkey, between Slovenia and also Bulgaria and Serbia and all those countries in the Balkans together, Herzegovina, Republika Srpska, with weapons sailing, with tourism, the best tourism amount of tourists from Israel to Serbia and also Slovenia and all those countries over there in the Balkans. It was the record of all time, the best era of tourism from Israel in the whole time. Why? Because we understood that we have a common enemy. The enemy is Turkey, that is against us. We need to fight it together. We need to win it together. We need to not let this alliance to occupy us and to delete us from the books of history like they are trying to do. Let's get together our most holy places. Let's support us to get our most holy places and also your holy places. Let's support you to have your territory back. Support us to have our territory back in Gaza and in Judea and Samaria and in the Golan Heights and in every place that they try to take our territory. And then we will shut their mouths in Western Europe. Okay? That's what we need to do together. We have the best interest of all times. 156 churches had been burned in Kosovo. They also burned our holy davening places, our Batei Knesset over here in Israel 3 years ago, Arab Israelis. So we have the same problem, and they called for unity, human rights and all of that, and eventually they're trying to kill us. No, we need to cooperate together to get out of this mess. We are the best partners, the Jews and the Orthodox and Serbian people, but also almost all the Balkanic countries need to cooperate together that had suffered under the Turks for centuries, because our 7 October is also your same problem that you suffered for years. They took people from Albania, from Bosnia, from North Macedonia, and they tried to Islamize them by force. Also, my grandmother came from Istanbul. She was a descendant of whom? Of a family that came from Spain. They went to Turkey. What happened to them in Turkey? They burned my grandfather business every day when he was going to work. They burned his store. After that, they took my grandmother, they raped her, and now we have children from a Turkish guy that we don't even know, and they took her daughter after she was 2 years old. And now we have a family in Istanbul that they think that they are Muslim, but their mother is Jewish. And my grandmother was crying for years about that. And I told mommy, even in her last years when she started to be sick, why mommy is so sad? She didn't wanted to tell me. She told me that only after she died. God forbid. So that's what the Turks did. They took women, they raped them, and they took their children from other nations, and they took them to be part of the Islamic nation. This Ottoman Empire are trying to rise again together with Germany and Western Europe to occupy Israel, but also to occupy Serbia and the Balkans, and we need to stop it together. There is no place in the world like what happens in the Balkans that is so similar with the methods that they are trying to destroy and imply their policy on it, on there, like Turkey is doing, but also the Palestinian over here in Israel, by the support of Western Europe. So there is no place in the whole world that have the same solution by cooperating together, but also the same problems as Serbia and Israel and also the Balkanian countries. We have to make this alliance. If we'll be together and we'll be strong, they will stop doing it. If we will be divided and we will follow their voice and their tone, they will eliminate us. Don't let them do it. Let's save our country. Also in the European Parliament, if we will have more voices in the favor of Israel, we will be also in the favor of you, and then we can change their bad decisions on the court on Hague, the international crime court in Hague, against us, but also against you, because you will have your support. And also Bezrat Hashem, like they say in Hebrew, the Trump regime support. Take your embassy, move it to Jerusalem, let's cooperate together. Come to Israel, we invite you. Also, we would like to cooperate with you in Serbia. Thank you very much. In this tough hour, let's be together and let's win. My name is Gal Gideon Ben Avraham. I'm a commentator over here in Israel. I'm specializing in understanding radical Islam and also international players like Turkey. Thank you very much.